What is JSX? Most developers write it every day, but few can explain exactly what it is and what happens to it before the browser ever sees it. JSX is not HTML. It is not a template language. It is syntactic sugar that compiles down to plain JavaScript function calls. When you write a button element with a disabled prop, the compiler transforms it into React.createElement called with the string button, a props object, and the child text. The browser never sees JSX. It only sees JavaScript. Why does JSX exist? Without it, describing even a simple nested structure requires deeply nested createElement calls. With JSX, you write something that looks like markup but stays inside JavaScript. JSX solves the readability and composition problem of describing complex UI trees in code. The key insight: JSX is an expression, not an instruction. You can embed JavaScript expressions inside JSX using curly braces, ternaries, logical operators, mapped arrays. These expressions return values and can even be passed as props. JSX is not a domain-specific language. It is just JavaScript in markup clothing. One critical rule about capitalization: a lowercase button tells React to create a native DOM element. An uppercase button tells React to call the button function, a component. This single rule is how React distinguishes DOM elements from your components. Inside JSX you can use expressions, arithmetic, ternaries, arrays of elements, components as values. What you cannot use are statements, no if blocks, no for loops. Statements do not return values and cannot be embedded in JSX. Use ternaries and logical and instead. Children in JSX are not magic. Nested elements become a prop called children, which is exactly equivalent to passing extra arguments to React.createElement. Children is just a regular prop. On security, React automatically escapes all interpolated values, blocking cross-site scripting by default. The only exception is dangerously set inner HTML, which bypasses this protection and should be used only with sanitized content. On performance, JSX has zero runtime overhead. Compilation happens entirely at build time. At runtime, JSX is already plain JavaScript objects. The performance bottleneck in React is never JSX itself. Common misconceptions to clear up: JSX is not HTML. JSX is not a template engine. JSX is not the view layer. And JSX is not executed by the browser, it is compiled away before deployment. For the interview, JSX is syntactic sugar over React.createElement that lets you describe UI declaratively while staying inside JavaScript. It compiles at build time, carries no runtime cost, and auto-escapes interpolated values for cross-site scripting protection. The mental model: JSX is not markup. It is a way to describe a tree of React elements using JavaScript expressions. Every JSX tag is a function call in disguise. That is all for today. If this video helped you understand JSX better and feel more confident heading into your next interview, hit the like button and subscribe. If you want to be able to explain React like this in an interview, check the link below. A new React deep dive drops every week. See you in the next one. Bye bye.